Nifemi Oguntoye.
Kayode Okikiolu.
It's good to have you around.
I think that name fits you, Okikiolu.
It fits me.
Yeah.
It used to be a tough one to pronounce for
yes.
people. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. This is like a dream come true for me because I've envisioned this a lot of times.
Yeah.
So thank you for making this happen. Let me just say, I really hope that after this conversation, we won't get mails from HR that says, please explain why disciplinary action should not be taken.
Within 48 hours or
right,
24 hours.
Because you were seen frolicking with a competitor. Because you work for TVC.
Absolutely.
I work for Channels TV. Let me just say that I've met your HR, and I think your HR is a really cool person. She's very
really?
cool.
Yeah, she is.
Now that I say I've met your HR, let me explain what I mean by I've met his HR. We met in a public place.
No, he's planning to pot. That's what he meant.
We met in a public place, and we had a conversation. She's an amazing person. My HR is great too. So please, HR.
I think the amazing thing about TVC is that we have a lot of women folk leading us.
Absolutely.
My head of department is a woman. My director of news is a woman. My CEO is a woman. The HR director you mentioned is a woman. I think I love it. It's really changing the narrative about women leadership.
So you're not getting the mail at the end of the day?
I don't think so.
And I'm not getting the mail as well. But I must say that the reason we're having this conversation is for too long, I think there's been that mentality of competition. And it's understandable. There's some level of competition, but there is so much we can achieve collaborating. And this hit me on different levels of late. Our CEOs, they had a conference. I don't know if you heard about it. I was privileged to be in that meeting.
Abuja, right?
In Abuja and in Lagos.
And in Lagos, okay.
And I saw all the CEOs, they were laughing and shaking hands, and I'm like, come on, we need to make this happen as well. And I think the industry has found that we need to collaborate a lot. And that's why we're having this conversation. It's no holds barred in that sense. We're going to talk about our experiences as journalists. That recent experience you had as well. We'll get there. This is going to be 50-50. So please feel free to ask me questions if you want to.
No, of course.
You have a 50%
I
quota.
have to.
You don't have to use it, but if you want to, absolutely ask me. But thank you very much for doing this. Let me just sort of introduce you or reintroduce you again. You've been doing this for about 15 years. Started from radio.
Yes, radio.
Worked with BCOS Agility FM in Ogbomoso.
That's right.
And then you worked with Core TV.
Yes, I did.
And then now with TVC.
I was with Galaxy TV at some point.
You were with Galaxy TV?
Yes.
Oh, man, you've gone around. It's beautiful. And you've been with TVC for 7 years now?
Yeah, I think more than 7 years now.
More than 7 years. That's amazing. Let me just ask you right away, what is it like to work for an organization that is seen as pro-government in that sense?
It's really strange being the one to answer the questions. It's like, this is harvest time for all the seeds I've sown.
No sense, I promise.
But that is a fantastic question. And in all honesty, I think at some point you have to face the reality of the public perception. I think it's made me a better journalist. There are times when I read the comments on some of my interviews, and I can tell that that guy did not even see the interview.
Right.
They probably just assume that this is what was being discussed. So I think to an extent it's really, it's a challenge for a journalist to be able to stand up tall, ask the tough questions, irrespective of who you're talking to. I'm glad that I'm able to do that. And in all honesty, and I don't care who believes or not, I've never had an episode in 7 years where I've not really had the liberty to ask the kind of questions I want to ask. Now, it could have started with some perception as to, do I have the liberty to do this? But I've done it a couple of times and heaven did not fall. By the way, I've done over 15 years and I'm finding out that if you're not even being honest, if you're not asking the tough questions, those guys won't take you seriously.
Indeed.
They won't even come to you when they need to talk to the people. So they like it when you put them on their toes, as long as you are not being, vindictive, you are not trying to pull anybody down. You're just asking the questions. I don't think I've had any problem with that really in those years. So I understand that perception from the public, but I think it's made me a better journalist because now I have to ask the tough questions, but I also have to be very diplomatic.
Fantastic. And you answered this very well, diplomatically. All right, Nifemi, I need to get to your experience with Babachir Lawal, former SGF, because I watched that video. I've watched that video a bit too much.
Like how many times?
A lot of times. Because it's what we experience on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But that was an extreme in that sense. So I want us to watch it together, if you don't mind.
Sure.
By the way, this video has gotten, I mean, across board, I'm sure millions of views.
Don't worry, this is not an ad. This is an ask, all right? And it's quite simple. I'd like to know, what are the things you need Nigerian media to change, do better, improve on, or stop? What suggestions do you have for the Nigerian media right now? So please put your comment in the comment section. Feel free to tag someone to also drop their comments. Together, let's improve the outcomes of Nigerian media, all right? So I'll be looking up for your comments, and please keep it respectful. Thank you. Now back to the videos.
And I want us to just watch it together, and I want you to walk me through your thought process during that. So I'm going to play that video.
Well, it is the same electoral process in 2019 and 2023. I mean, the same administration you served on there. So I didn't see quite much difference
Give me a break, my friend. Look, shut up.
Between what happened then
Give
and
me
now.
a break. How can you say Buhari's government, the electoral processes are the same with Bola Tinubu's government? What is your problem?
So he said the first shut up.
Yeah.
And the second shut up. Did you hear it? What was going through your mind at that point? Like, me, shut up.
Fantastic question. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
I heard it, but I didn't feel the weight of it, right? So it was the first time I was talking to him. And as a journalist, you would have interviewed thousands of people, if not tens of thousands. So I had a lot to ask him.
Yeah.
This was a 25 minutes program. It's called Beyond the Headlines. So what we do is we dig deep, and then we ask those tough questions, you know, no holds barred. And we're like 13 minutes into the show, right? And this conversation, because usually these days people just watch 1 minute clip, and we were talking about, I think the conversation was already getting tense because it was saying certain things about the Tinubu administration. Of course, the perception of that pro-government thing kicked in. But I was also bringing out facts because he was talking about the 2023 general election, how it was incredible and all of that. I was saying, well, it was conducted by your principal. It was conducted under Buhari administration. So I think it got to a point where he just had to fight back. But at the moment, I was concerned about the many things I really want to talk to him about. And I've seen that happen a couple of times. I know how it could end. I could say, take that back. And then he refuses to take it back. And then it drags on and on. It becomes emotional. He could even angrily walk out of the studio. I was too much concerned about the many angles that I want to explore. I want to find out his relationship with his former boss. You know that he was sacked at some point, but was later on discharged and acquitted by the court. I wanted to know if...
So you were focused on the mission?
I was focused on the mission. And looking back now, I'm just a little bit surprised about how it got really viral, because at the moment, it wasn't about me, right? It wasn't about me. I was just too much carried away by the many things I really need to ask him before the time goes.
Because he went on, he did not stop.
How can you say Buhari's government, the electoral processes are the same with Bola Tinubu's government? What is your problem? Give me a break.
No.
Factual for once. Try to be truthful in what you say. I mean, I would take
Get Out because I've invited you to my house. But I'm just trying to have an intellectual conversation with you, Mr. Loa. And I don't want to rile you up, okay?
The way you put it.
I am not going to rile you up. Let us take a short break, and then when we return, we'll reboot this and start all over.
Break.
Yes, I did.
Unintended, it wasn't planned. It was because of this, right?
My producers usually would like me to take a break, but I always fight them. Now, don't tell them this because it was a 25 minutes. It's a 25-minute show. They always want me to go on a break, but the conversation is intense.
We don't want to go on a break.
I never I have a lot to ask this guy, but I had to because I knew that I had to de-escalate the tension and help him calm down. I found out that when we returned, it was a bit calmer. I think the reality of what he said had dawned on him, and we were able to move on effortlessly. But I like to tell people that perhaps you should see the entire show
to get the proper context.
It was a good show. he didn't shy away from many of the questions. In fact, from my first question about why he left the APC, he said he was following Wike's step. That Wike is the champion of working for another party while being with another party. And then I asked him, are you admitting publicly that you were engaging in anti-party activity? And he said yes. So it was really an interesting conversation.
Right, and that was your own focus at that
and I was just like, what else? What this man can answer any question right now.
Did you feel offended that he said shut up? Had he said get out before that time as well?
Yeah, no, he didn't. So that's the thing, in the spur of the moment, there's how your mind is interpreting what is said.
Oh, I see.
He actually says shut up, but I interpreted it as a get out, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I don't think I was offended at the time. Looking back on comments now, and then people are making a fuss around it, then I'm like, oh, maybe I should be offended or not. But really, I wasn't offended. And I think, Kayode, we've done this for years. There are times when you are talking to a guest, and then they are just saying a lot of nonsense, and then you're angry. There's a lot of emotion swelling on the inside. Over the years, I've just tried to detach myself from those emotions, because if you get angry, you start saying things that you're not proud of. You steer the conversation away from the issue. I think I just decided at the point, it just wasn't priority for me at the point. I was more focused about the questions I wanted to ask.
Amazing, almost like a pilot, like I need to land this plane and land it safely. I'm not going to get distracted.
In fact, my producer was telling me at the point that you have to address that. My producer was angry. And in my mind, I was like, hello, why are you angry on my behalf?
A lot of people maybe don't understand what it is like to be an anchor, what it is like to be in that seat, managing a lot of things. So you're producing that conversation in that sense, asking the questions, listening, drawing a lot of things, a wealth of knowledge, and piecing it together and trying to give the viewers a good conversation that they can go home with and say, I really had an intellectual conversation. And I'm glad you mentioned that. But I'm really curious, if you had a chance to relive that experience, would you have given him hot?
I think that the natural thing to do is to give him that same energy. I think it takes more weight to go the other road.
Sure.
Right? So if you slap me, I want to slap you back. But if I don't slap you back, it takes a lot of restraint on my part. It takes a lot of sacrifice, right? So I think that it takes a lot of wisdom to be able to diplomatically steer that kind of conversation than shouting back or saying, you two shut up. How dare you say shut up to me? I mean, the man is probably older than my dad. He's an elderly man. And at the point, it wasn't about me. The conversation really wasn't about me. Even though, sometimes I'm feeling like, did I handle it well enough? Maybe I should have said, maybe I should have, be a little bit, add one or two lines apart from saying intellectual conversation.
Right.
But I'm glad that I didn't allow it hold back that conversation. Because at the point, I just felt this conversation isn't about Nifemi. Let us focus on the issues. And I think, I want to assume I'm not in his mind. I think that's what it's trying to do. It was trying to get me away from the facts. I think I'm glad that I didn't buy it, and I didn't fall for it.
Fantastic. Have you guys spoken after that? Have you had a conversation with him?
My producer called him, and then when I got into the newsroom, everybody was like, "You really must be angry." And in my mind, I'm like, I'm still not angry. What's happening?
Like, am I okay? Am I normal?
Am I normal? And amazingly, my producer spoke with him, and then I took to him, I said, oh. And he said, oh, you tried. You tried to, I can't remember the exact words he used, but I'm also tough. I did not allow you to. I think the conversation wasn't going the way he wanted it. And at some point, he wanted to dominate the conversation. And I was also trying to provide a balance for the conversation. He probably thought that because he was coming to TVC, that perception that the anchor was supporting the president. I mean, on my senior colleague criticized President Tinubu for declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. I hosted a town square session after that episode, he still said it on live television that he didn't believe in what the president did. It's amazing how people don't hear things like that and assume that all of us are dull heads because we're working with TVC. That's not true. Look at me now, I have some gray hair. I'm also concerned about my legacy.
Right.
I'm doing this job not because, it's because I'm passionate about it. I love it. I want to elevate quality conversation that can positively impact on the society. I have 2 children. I have a wife. I have parents that are also looking at me. I want them to be proud of me. So I'm not going to sit down there and do the dirty man's job. I don't think I could be doing 1,001 other things, but I chose to be a journalist. I better do my job, right? So I think it's beyond. We had that conversation and we just laughed over it. In fact, I didn't know it was going to go viral. I've had a couple of viral moments in my 15-year career, but this one was at another level. People were calling me, mentors were calling me.
What are they saying?
Wow, mostly positive. Overnight, I had like 2,000 plus people follow me on Twitter. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying it, by the way.
So you look forward to more of those moments?
In fact, I think it was my boss that said, Nifemi, you have to get us some more shut-up conversations.
I like that. More shut-up conversations.
Now, I'm under pressure, but I'm not going to take it. I think that it's beyond the drama, even though that dramatic element thrives these days. But I think it's just about elevating quality conversations beyond personal, aggrandizement and ego and what have you. I think it boils down to our personality, who you are.
Yeah.
See, the camera can amplify your personality. You're just purely being angry. You're just purely being immature. You're just purely making this all about you. If you look beyond you, then you can let go of certain things and move on.
It's a very important point you made, because it takes me to the next point I wanted to ask you, and this is a general question. So the audience has an appetite, right? Those moments are good for TV.
Yeah.
In fact, they say controversy sells.
Have you had those moments yourself?
Those moments
Are someone will ride it up on live TV?
A couple of times. Well, a lot of times. I think it's almost, you prepare for it. So while you're prepping for work,
you're also imagine,
exactly
scenarios that could go that way.
I'll tell you a funny thing I do. I always think for this conversation, what if it goes this way? So I prepare lines or things I would say.
I do that too.
You have to be the anchor.
That's right.
You have to have that. I know that, again, the audience wants to see some sort of argument and all of that, but I'm sorry, I don't think we'll be productive.
I like that you keep using the word anchor.
Yeah.
I think it's Teller Dean Jacob who usually say, as an anchor, like you're literally an anchor. You're supposed to anchor the ship. That's my job.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to keep this sane. There's a code. There are broadcast codes guiding our work. My job is to ensure that this thing doesn't go south. Even though you want to see the drama, you want us to blow one another on air, but you have to be an anchor.
So how do we then balance that? Because the audience, it's like the audience says, I want a lot of sugar in this thing. I want a drink that has plenty of sugar. But as a manufacturer in that sense, you know that too much of sugar is bad. And you know that you need to give them quality food, vegetables,
yes.
Have a balanced diet.
Right. That's right.
So how do we sort of balance the audience's appetite, especially for those viral moments, things that will go viral, and really doing our job, putting out information that is valuable, information that will help them make informed decisions, information that will elevate the conversation?
Absolutely. I think that that's where innovation comes in, right? So you see that conversation now, you got the drama, and you just did not get too much of drama, even though you wanted it. And that's the suspense in it. You wanted, I think the shorter, the better, right? It did not consume the entire conversation. It was just for a few minutes and then we let it go. I think that, and what you're saying is very important, because let's take, for instance, sensationalism. 15 years ago, it had no place in journalism. But you know what? If you're not sensational, people are not going to watch you. So I'm going through a script 1,000 times and I'm rewriting it. And I'm thinking, I need to make it punchy. I need to get a liner. There
has to be a hook.
There has to be, because you can't just sound regular these days and get people's attention. Gone are the days where you're speaking on radio and it's the only radio in the community. Now you have 1,001 online channels, many alternatives that people can explore.
Yeah.
So I think innovation, you need to look at the dramatic element of it. You need to ask your questions in a very, I was speaking with someone I think it was Garba Shehu. And Garba Shehu was saying, he left Atiku for Buhari at some point, and he was saying you can't serve two masters. And then I said, so which master are you serving right now? You need to find better ways to ask your question. And he was saying, well, my master, that was Buhari. So I could target, my master is Buhari. So the sensationalism is not taken, I'm not adding anything outside what he's saying.
Yeah, but at least you're using something that will hook
to get people's attention. So I think it's about not just adding too much sugar, but you definitely have to find a better way to do your work these days.
Absolutely.
If you're going to get people's attention.
Because, the attention span is almost non-existent now.
8 seconds, I hear? It's terrible.
I thought it was like 2 seconds. Because I tell you, your hook, you have to have a 3-second hook, else they swipe. I want to do a quick, well, it's not a quiz, it's just an interesting thing. I'm going to mention media houses.
Okay.
And tell me the first word that comes to mind.
I didn't see this coming.
No.
You didn't prep me for this.
I didn't prep you for this. So, because this conversation is also about our industry.
Yes.
It's very vital. It's fourth estate of the realm. But this is just a game. Nothing
Now,
serious.
whatever I say, guys,
Nothing serious.
it's just from the spur of the moment.
There you go.
So don't hold me. I hope you are going to watch this part as my disclaimer.
All right, so let's go.
Yes.
Channels TV.
I'll say credibility.
I'll take that. We'll take that.
Because you're the interviewer.
No, but yeah, I'll take it. Arise TV.
Arise TV. I'll say Basbos. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not what you think. Punch.
Punch. Oh, I have a friend in Punch. I have a fantastic friend in Punch who covers the State House.
You already said a sentence. Just one word.
I'll say traditional. Yeah, I think Punch has become and I hope that traditional is not being misinterpreted. I'm just saying they have gained so much dominance in the industry. Like, you want to hear them. You want to check Punch and a couple of others to confirm a story.
Interesting. TVC.
TVC. TVC.
You think salary?
I'll say comprehensive.
Interesting.
Yes, comprehensive.
So this is not media houses anymore.
Okay.
Instablog Niger. Well, it's a media house actually. if you
Yes,
think
they
about
are.
it. But not like traditional media.
Let's just say trendy. Instablog has covered a couple of my stories, and I enjoy it because they give me more traction on social media. They mention you, and then people just start following you and paying attention, paying mind to what you're doing. You know that we have, our industry is fast evolving, right? I'm just hoping that at some point we're going to get platforms like this that also have the traditional discipline of broadcasting, that can confirm their stories, that can tell. For instance, now you read some articles from some online platform, and then you're wondering, who the hell wrote this thing? Right? Like, no due diligence, no balance, no depth, and stuff like that. But let's say trendy for Instablog.
The last one I'll mention, because we're talking media generally.
Yes.
Very dark man. Very dark black. It's very dark man.
Wow.
Right. Samuel, very dark man.
Wow. Hello, God, what are you doing here?
A journalist.
You see anything wrong about very dark man, they drag you from every.
It's just one word.
One word.
One word.
I'll say relevant.
Okay. I thought you were going to say singlet.
No.
I mean, it's
I'll say relevant.
Relevant. Right.
I had a conversation. I had a town square meeting, and I'm a kind of guy who acknowledges the reality. We like to think of ourselves as, we are the educated broadcasters. We are the one people should be listening to, right? But I had a conversation with a rich panel, government functionaries, NGO, and someone just mentioned Very Dark Man from the Blues. And that excerpt had more views than the entire conversation we had. So I think that we should pay mind to individuals like that. We just need to be able to provide credible alternatives to whatever they're saying. My opinion.
And this takes me to my last question. We could go on and on because we don't get to see a lot. We're always, stuck in the studio or in the field, don't have time. Do you think our work is our occupation in that sense? Do you think we're an endangered species?
100%, Kayode. My station started AI anchors.
How's that going, by the way? Do you see the AI anchors? You're like, God, may Lord forgive you. How's it going? Yeah.
Fantastic. I think it's an innovative idea, right?
Yeah.
But we're endangered from all angles. Opinion, I'm citizen journalist. You mentioned VDM, right? So VDM goes to the scene of an incident in Benue and starts showing pictures of dead people. That's sensationalism at the height. It's anti-standard of the profession. But the people love it because the people find it more credible because it's at the scene. But it's also very dangerous because it can incite, because it's probably not complete, right? Because you probably will need to speak to more stakeholders to get a complete story of what has happened there. So I think we're endangered, and I think innovation is the answer to the sustainability of our business. For instance, we need to see beyond the newsroom. I had a course with, I had a media innovation program last year that opened my eyes to a lot of things. They took us to South Africa.
Well, that's the MTN.
The MTN MIP. I think every journalist should be a part of it. It's opened my, I used to be a studio rat. I'm just there. But now I'm taking a break because I'm finding out that a lot is happening outside our studios, outside the newsroom that we have to engage with. So in all honesty, I think that it's important that we begin to consider different ways, like what you're doing. You have a unique way of telling the story that resonates with the audience online. Everything's moving online now. I have a smart TV. I can't remember the last time I subscribed for
The
DSTV.
box, right?
Today I just found an app and I could watch international channels live.
There you go.
Oh my God, I was like, hello.
Goodbye to.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we need to think ahead of time. A lot is happening. I mean, in the next 10 years, we have to find somewhere else to do our TV. It can't be on TV. I mean, it can't be the traditional TV. It means that we need to see how can we do the stories brevity, right? How can we get this information out, which takes a lot of work.
It's tough to try to compress a story that needs different angles into just 2 minutes. Or even 1 minute now. So I think maybe we also need to help the audience understand that there's some things that you just can't do. Yes, you can try to put it in 1 minute, but you would lose a lot of context. You miss out a lot of context.
And that's why there's a lot of misinformation. For instance, take Boss Mustafa's speech at that book launch and how it's been reported. That speech is about 30 or 35 minutes long. Who has really sat down to listen through? Even though you can infer what he meant, but what did he say? I read a newspaper where they were quoting what he did not say.
Yeah.
Because I saw it. Well, you can infer that he was making reference to the South or the person of Tinubu and what have you, but he did not actually say that. So if we don't sit down to go through the process, we're going to have a very dysfunctional community where we're just feeding fat on misinformation and whatever.
Well, interesting days ahead.
Absolutely.
I think I'll just end this conversation by also appealing, if that works, to the audience that I would always do our jobs. At least I can speak for myself and a lot of my colleagues.
Yeah.
But we need your help to also be more patient so you can get the full picture.
Absolutely.
Because it's for our own good at the end of the day. So let's get all of the angles. I mean, you can also get all of the angles, but make sure that whatever decision, whatever action you're taking is based on well-rounded information.
One of the things I have found out is that one of the biggest challenges of our job is your ability to stay unbiased and speak the truth. So you're speaking with quite a number of people and there's a lot of agenda setting happening. You're speaking with someone, but he came on your show to set a particular agenda. It's your ability to see beneath it.
Yeah.
And we also have to be very humble. Because when you're arrogant and you feel like what I've said is what I've said, you're really going to miss out on a lot of things.
Sure.
You have to be humble enough to know that you don't know it all.
You don't.
And what you consider to be the truth might not be the truth. So you have to be really open-minded. And that's why I think it's important that we detach our emotions from these conversations. Just open your mind. Ask the questions. Listen to the response. Don't take a side.
Nifemi, shut up. I said that really.
No. You know that has nothing on me now.
I like that. You're like Superman.
So my next guest, you need to come up with a more
Something stronger.
Maybe use the F word.
I get a fine.
We need to give this guy his flowers. You know, you are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
Like I'm so honored.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. And by the way, you were in Ukraine
I was in Ukraine
for 5 days.
for 5 days.
How? Hello. What was your wife thinking about?
My wife was here early on. I mean, she's a strong woman. So she told me that at some point. She just put me in God's hands and just took her mind off it.
But what was happening inside of you?
On the inside of me, I think at some point it just gets to the point where you think, death, there's no sting in death.
For real?
Yeah, for real. And I'm being honest with you. Because you're there. What's the worst? So you have the option to be afraid and then you make a mess of a situation. When you're afraid, you actually make the worst decisions.
Were you in Kiev?
Yeah, I was in Kyiv. Went from Lviv because I came from Poland. So Lviv is close to Poland. So spent 2 days in Poland. Sorry, in Kyiv, in Lviv.
Okay.
Forgive me. Spent 2 days in Lviv, then spent 3 days in Kyiv. So took a train ride all the way to Kyiv. So yeah, and went through a few other towns. So all in all, I think I went to about 5 towns.
And there were no bombings all through the time.
There were, but not, of course, not where I was, thankfully. So there were a lot of air alerts.
What is life like there? People still going about their daily
Yes.
activities?
It's phenomenal, actually, that they are able to still have a semblance of life in spite of that. So there's a front line where the war is active, the disputed areas, and there are cities like Kyiv, the capital, that gets attacked from time to time. Just before I got to Ukraine, the day before, there was an attack that killed 28 people. By the way, I went to the building. You saw the devastation. The missile split the building. I'm talking about a block of flats, like a 5 or 6 story building, split it in half. So they get attacks from time to time. You just get the air raid alerts. You rush to the bunker. But, it's just a story of resilience. They're back again, living their lives, and you see them on the streets. And when the air alert comes up, they go to the nearest bunker. So it's phenomenal. And I think it's something that has changed my mindset as well. Seeing that even in time of war, the people are thriving, or they're finding a way to thrive. We're not at war in Nigeria, so we don't have an excuse in that sense. So I think it just gave me a mental shift that you think your situation is bad, but wait till there are drones flying
And then
around.
I saw that video you shared of some ladies who came to you to ask for
children.
money. Oh, children.
Yes, yeah, they came to ask for money, for food, because I could tell from what they were, I couldn't understand the language, but they were like, I wanted to eat. And that was heartbreaking for me.
Wow.
Because I just spent a full day, I went to the cemetery where a lot of soldiers were buried. So imagine seeing hundreds, over 1,000 flags. I mean, you could see their resting place. So it messed me up because just moments before I got there, a guy who was born the same week as I was born had just been buried. So imagine you can see yourself, like this could have been me, and I saw a lot of people. So it was a very long day for me. I just sat down on the chair. It was painted in Ukraine's flag. So I wanted to I was speaking with my psychologist, my wife, so I wanted to just take everything in and do some sort of detox. And I put my camera, because I had my camera, I just put it on the floor to capture that moment of me sitting and taking it in. And that was when it happened. So I have not recovered from it. So what I did was I sort of repressed my experience.
I think it's a good one. I mean, not every journalist gets to visit Kyiv, right?
I could speak to the government of Ukraine if you want to visit.
Let me go to Russia first.
Well, yeah, that's also a place to visit.
We always need to balance the story.
Yeah, good context.
You have gone to Ukraine, let me go to Russia, and then we'll do a story together.
I wish you the best, bro. Nifemi, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That's been the conversation. I didn't tell Nifemi shut up, as you can see, but we ended up having a good conversation, and I hope this can elevate, the conversation around the future of media, journalism, and ultimately make our nation a better place. So thank you very much for joining us on the Rooftop. We'll see you later.